don't you file them in red districts?
Senator Cruz.
Why? What did you just say?
Why don't you file them in red districts?
Point
Why
of
are the
order.
Democrat attorneys
Senator Cruz.
general seeking out
Senator Cruz,
left-wing
my
blue
esteemed
single
colleague.
Quite patient with
One
Senator
second.
Cruz's activities
Yeah.
in this building.
Senator Whitehouse.
He's entitled to.
I'm just going to ask for a point of order. Madam Klobuchar, Senator Klobuchar.
Senator Moody, we have debates on this committee. They occur regularly.
Let's let her have her time, and then we'll get back to that. If you want to wait, we'll get back to Senator Cruz.
She's welcome to
Senator
answer the
Klobuchar,
question or
go
not.
ahead.
It's her choice.
Go ahead.
I'm so
and I would
excited
encourage
to
you
be
to answer.
following Senator Cruz once again.
Excuse me?
But I will say
Excuse
this.
me? I didn't hear you. What did you say?
You're not going to believe what just went down in the Senate. Chaos erupted as Ted Cruz walked out on Amy Klobuchar in a heated debate that exposed everything wrong with Washington's double standards. Cruz called out the left's hypocrisy right to their faces, and when the truth hit too hard, the room couldn't handle it. Patriots, this is the kind of moment the mainstream media will never show you straight. So before we dive in, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and ring that bell so you never miss a real conservative breakdown of the battles shaping our nation. This is Bold Stand, where we fight for truth, freedom, and America first.
Senator Whitehouse, Senator Cruz.
It's long been said that hypocrisy is the tribute that vice pays to virtue. I have to admit I'm enjoying listening to my Democrat colleagues suddenly discover the virtues of the rule of law after 4 years where they brazenly supported the most lawless Department of Justice and the most politically weaponized Department of Justice our nation has ever seen. We just heard the senator from Rhode Island talk about the imperative of protecting judges. And yet not a single Democrat senator cared about the violent protesters that showed up outside Supreme Court justices' homes, including, I might note, female justices like Justice Amy Coney Barrett, threatening their family, and Joe Biden's attorney general didn't do a damn thing and refused to enforce the law to protect those judges. Why? Because he agreed with the violent protesters and he wanted to intimidate and threaten those judges. Professor Bray, under our Constitution, who should decide elections, the voters or unelected judges?
The voters are the ones who should vote in the election according to the laws, and the laws sometimes have to be applied by the judges if there are cases.
And under our Constitution, who is charged with making policy decisions, elected representatives elected by the people or unelected federal judges?
I think the question of policy, Senator, is a little broader than the particular case. So the laws should be enacted by Congress. That's where the fountain of law.
Policy decisions are the elected branches.
Right.
Law is the province of the court. Policy is the province of the elected branches. These are not complicated. Professor Bray, let me ask you this. Do the federal courts have power to issue remedies for people who are not parties to a case?
That's a question I agree is not complicated. They do not have that power.
Is the phrase nationwide injunction or universal injunction found anywhere in the Constitution?
It is not.
First chart. In the first 150 years of our republic, how many nationwide injunctions were issued?
My view is that there were not any until 1963.
0. Now fast forward. How many nationwide injunctions were issued in the entire 20th century?
It's a small number. I would think it would be a dozen, give or take. It's not large.
27, actually. Excluding Trump's first term, how many nationwide injunctions were issued in the last 20 years?
Far more than that.
32. From 2001 to 2024 against Biden, Obama, and Bush, 32. And how many nationwide injunctions have been issued in the last 2 months alone?
There have been quite a few.
37. Let that sink in. There have been more nationwide injunctions in the past 2 months against President Trump than in the entire 20th century. There have been more nationwide injunctions against President Trump in the last 2 months than both terms of George W. Bush, both terms of Barack Obama, and Joe Biden's term. We saw during the Biden presidency lawfare, indicting President Trump 4 times, using the machinery of justice to attack him, and that was an attack on democracy, because Democrats today hate democracy. Democrats today are angry at the voters for re-electing Donald Trump and electing a Republican Senate and a Republican House, and they engaged in lawfare to stop democracy from operating. Understand, this is the second phase of lawfare. Second chart. This is the second phase of lawfare. Now that their efforts to indict President Trump and stop the voters from re-electing him have failed, they're going and seeking out individual radical judges to try to shut down policies, and they are forum shopping like crazy. Give me any loon judge put on the bench by Obama or Biden who disagrees with a policy. We just saw a judge flagrantly ignore U.S. immigration law concerning TPS being revoked. U.S. law explicitly said there's no judicial review for that, but hey, they found a judge who says, you know what? We, the Democrat Party, we are the party of illegal aliens. We are the party of murderers and rapists and gang members, and the Democrat Party exists here to fight to keep murderers and rapists and gang members in your communities. There's a reason the Democrat Party is at 26% approval nationwide, because they put radical policies ahead of rule of law. Nationwide injunctions are an abuse of power. It is the judiciary acting as policy deciders, and it is incumbent on this committee and this body to rein in the abuse of power from these unelected radical judges who are trying to overturn the election because they disagree with what the voters decided.
Thank you, Senator Cruz. Senator Klobuchar.
Okay, that was a lot. Let me start with a few things. Number one, we love the democracy, and I believe what we should be having is a civil debate about how we can best, if Donald Trump wants to make changes to the government, we should be doing it in a legal way, not how he's doing it. And the only reason there's all these injunctions, Senator Cruz, is because he's violating the Constitution. Why would Trump-appointed judges...
Why don't you file them in red districts?
Senator Cruz.
Why? What did you just say?
Why don't you file them in red districts?
Point
Why
of
are the
order.
Democrat attorneys
Senator Cruz.
general seeking out
Senator Cruz.
left-wing,
My
blue,
esteemed
single
colleague.
district
Patient with
One
Senator
second.
Cruz's activities
Yeah.
in this building.
Senator Whitehouse.
He's entitled to.
I'm just going to ask for a point of order. Madam Klobuchar, Senator Klobuchar.
Senator Moody, we have debates on this committee. They occur regularly.
Let's let her have her time, and then we'll get back to that. If you
it
want to
is-
wait, well get back to you, Senator Cruz.
She's welcome to
Senator
answer the
Klobuchar,
question or
go
not.
ahead.
It's her choice.
Go ahead.
I'm so
and I would
excited
encourage
to
you
be
to answer.
following Senator Cruz once again.
Excuse me?
But I will say
Excuse
this.
me? I didn't hear you. What did you say?
To be following him. He and I have a
I was
long-standing-
permitting you your time to continue. To be following him in order.
and I
Excuse
have
me.
a
Go ahead, Senator
long-standing
Klobuchar.
debate during hearing.
Go ahead, Senator
That's what I'm
Klobuchar.
referring to.
Go ahead.
And I will take more than my time, since he's taken more than his time to yell at me.
Go
So
ahead.
what I
I'll
will
mark the
say
time.
is that
I'm not yelling. I asked a question.
Senator Cruz, please. I'll give you time. Senator Klobuchar, I've got the time, and you'll be allotted
I
time.
am making the strong case that the reason all these cases have been filed, and the reason that these judges who have been appointed by Ronald Reagan, yes, they still exist, and the Bushes and Donald Trump, judges appointed by Donald Trump, have been making these decisions is because this is not legal. Donald Trump himself has used his social media account, the White House account, to post an image of himself wearing a crown saying, "Long live the king." The issue is that we do not live in a kingdom, and Elon Musk is not his court jester. Ours is a nation of laws in which no one is above the law. That is why 39 different judges from vastly different backgrounds, appointed by 5 different presidents, have made clear that these are illegal actions. And these judges have rightly blocked these actions. And it is important that we not lose sight of the underlying cause of these injunctions. It is not that these judges are crooked or lunatics or evil. Those are words used by the president and his allies. It is because the administration is violating the Constitution. What happens?
All right, folks, welcome back to Bold Stand, where the truth still matters and where conservative voices rise. If you're tired of the mainstream media twisting every story to fit their left-wing narrative, hit that like button, share this video, and make sure you subscribe. Let's make sure the voice of the American people can't be silenced. Now, let's talk about the absolute chaos that erupted in the Senate when Senator Ted Cruz went head-to-head with Amy Klobuchar and then walked out. You heard that right. This wasn't just another DC debate. This was a full-blown clash between truth and political theater. Senator Cruz started off by doing what he does best, calling out hypocrisy. He pointed out how Democrats are suddenly pretending to care about the rule of law, after 4 years of cheering on the most lawless and politically weaponized Department of Justice in our nation's history. You could feel the tension rise when he reminded everyone how Democrats sat silently as leftist mobs gathered outside the homes of Supreme Court justices, threatening their families. Not a single Democrat said a word. And Joe Biden's DOJ didn't lift a finger. Why? Because they agreed with the protesters. Cruz went on to expose how Democrats and activist judges are abusing nationwide injunctions, these sweeping orders that let one unelected judge overrule the will of millions of voters. And you know what? He's absolutely right. For over a century and a half of American history, there wasn't a single nationwide injunction. Not one. But now, under Trump, they're being thrown around like candy because the left can't stand that the people rejected their agenda. Cruz laid it out plain and simple. These injunctions aren't about justice, they're about power. They're the latest weapon in the Democrats' lawfare campaign to stop Donald Trump and silence conservative policies. It's about overturning elections they didn't win and intimidating any judge or politician who dares to disagree with them. Then Amy Klobuchar jumped in, doing her usual dance around the facts. She tried to twist the argument by saying these judges are just following the law, and that Trump's actions are unconstitutional. But notice what she didn't say. She never acknowledged how Democrats have turned the justice system into a political weapon. She never mentioned how they forum shop for activist judges who will rubber stamp their agenda. She just deflected, attacked Trump, and accused Cruz of making the situation worse. And when Cruz pressed her on it, things got heated. You could see the frustration on both sides. Klobuchar tried to take over the floor, pretending to be the voice of reason, but all she did was expose how desperate the Democrats have become. They talk about protecting democracy, yet everything they do is about controlling it, controlling the courts, controlling speech, controlling outcomes. Eventually, Cruz had enough of the grandstanding. He walked out. And honestly, who can blame him? You can't debate people who refuse to deal in truth. You can't reason with those who see the Constitution as an obstacle instead of a foundation. At the end of the day, this hearing wasn't just about nationwide injunctions, it was about something much bigger. It was about whether America will be governed by the people or ruled by judges and bureaucrats who answer to no one. Cruz made it clear, the Democrats' abuse of the courts is a direct attack on our republic, on our freedom, and on our elections. So here's the question we all need to ask: when will enough be enough? When will Americans stand up and say we've had it with unelected elites undermining our votes? Because if we don't push back now, the rule of law won't mean a thing. This is why Bold Stand exists, to speak truth without apology and to call out corruption wherever it hides. If you believe in defending the Constitution, in keeping power with the people, and in standing up for the America our founders envisioned, hit that subscribe button and join the movement. Together, we will keep standing boldly for truth, freedom, and justice.